the Clear Pill Podcast, episode number 11 with my boy, Willie Harvey. Thank you for your time, bro. Really appreciate it.
Man, no problem, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell the people who you are, where you're from, tell them your story, all that.
Oh Lord, how much time we got? I'm Willie Harvey. I'm from Hastings, Florida. Went to Pedro Menendez with my boy Devin here. Great guy. Went to Iowa State to play football for 4 years. Graduated and went on to play for the Cleveland Browns for roughly 3 years. I was with them last year, and now I'm in the XFL playing for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Oh, wow. So what was that like, bro? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. We played together. I wasn't that good, but you were a
Give,
monster back in the day, and
yeah, give yourself some credit, man. Give yourself some credit.
I was a workout warrior.
Yeah, you definitely a workout guy. I will say that.
Uh, so I mean, honestly, just like playing alongside of you, I didn't know like back then because I didn't know anything about anything, but I
Right.
definitely could just see with my eyeballs that you were like one of the most disruptive players that I've ever
Yeah.
seen. What was it like? I think my senior year, you had like, oh, it must have been like 10 block kicks or block punts or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Nah, that was crazy.
So what was it
Um.
like getting to the next level? Like from you went from high school, dominating in high school, going to the next level. What was that process like?
Um. It was very interesting. Obviously, when you're one of the better guys in high school, that's kind of like the peak, right? But when you go to college, everyone's just as good. And that's when kind of like the mental part starts to kick in because you not only have to be better than guys, but you also have to be mentally sharper than guys. You have to. There's little mental like you can't make any errors in college, or it's a big play or it's a touchdown. So really honing in on like my mental was really the biggest difference. Because football is football at the end of the day, but those little things really took you to the next level as a player.
So at what point in your like football career did you feel like the NFL that was a realistic possibility for you to make it to the next level?
Um, I would just say playing in the conference I was in, the Big 12. Playing against the Kyler Murrays, the Orlando Browns, the CeeDee Lambs. When you're playing against those guys and you're excelling, you're like, man, I can really do this. And that's kind of when, like, like a light went off in my head, like I can really make it to the next level and be a guy. And that's kind of what happened with me.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember watching you make plays, showing up on ESPN Top
Yeah,
10,
yeah,
all of
man.
that. So I remember that draft actually because you and uh, I want to say you and Titus were like almost in the same draft class, or maybe he was a year ahead of you.
I think he was a year ahead of me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember watching that draft. I'm a draft
Uh huh.
nerd, anyways. Like I'm a day
Right.
three. I'm a day three of the draft, anyways. Like I'm just a
Yeah.
draft nerd. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is where the NFL is really. This is 50% of the roster right
Right.
here.
Right.
So, what was that like? Did anybody was any teams calling you like, hey, we might get you in the fifth, sixth, seventh? Was any or how was that like?
Honestly, that whole process was a blur for me. I kind of knew, just based off the feedback I had, like I would be either a late round guy or like an undrafted guy. So I got that information pretty early, so I wasn't expected to be a first day guy or even a second day guy. But it was definitely an interesting process because you have people calling you, and then there's random numbers calling you, and you're like, oh, this could be such and such. It was definitely a lot. But I did have a couple teams reach out. I talked to the Browns, obviously, the Jaguars. I think the Ravens or I don't know a couple other teams, but I definitely had teams reach out. But it was definitely a difficult process just based on how how do I want to say this? How fast flowing it was moving. Like there were people calling you left and right and trying to get deals done, and you hang up with those guys, they can have somebody else sign. So it was like
Mm,
you really had to be on your p's and q's when making a decision. So
wow. So what was that process like? The draft. I know obviously things didn't work out that way. You didn't get drafted. I know that they picked you up as a unrestricted
Right,
free agent. So
right.
was you like bummed, or was you just kind of expecting that, or how'd that go?
Um, I'm always expect the best, as you should. And I feel like my resume spoke for itself. I could have did better in like testing areas. I think that kind of hindered me a little bit, but I'm not kind of expect to go undrafted or you were a late round guy, so I wasn't really bummed. I just wanted to go somewhere because obviously that's I've always been overlooked. Like even coming out of high school, like I was one of the better guys in Florida, and I was ranked like very low, comparable to other guys who were had half the stats that I had, but were ranked way higher than me. So the kind of the playing from behind role has always been my thing. So I just needed the opportunity, to showcase my skills. And ultimately, Cleveland, I signed with Cleveland, and I got that chance, and I made the most of it. So I mean, I was happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I'm a huge Cleveland Brown fan, like my whole life, even
Really,
before you. Yeah, like
that's
I'm wearing it
wild.
right. Represent.
Ah, look at you, look at you.
Because before I moved to Florida, that's where I was from. I was from Ohio,
Oh, okay.
so I grew up a Buckeye fan, and I grew up a Cleveland Brown fan, Cavs fan, all of that.
Where
Uh,
did you live at out there?
so I grew up in Southern Ohio, but for a year, when I really started like liking football, I was up there in Parma.
Oh, that's literally right by the facility and all that.
Yeah, so I actually went to high school in Normandy, like the Normandy
Oh,
Invaders. So
yeah.
yeah, the year before, I think it was
Okay.
your freshman year, I was at the Normandy Invaders and I played for them
That's a
too.
small world. Small world. That's crazy.
Yeah, so for me, it was crazy just watching the whole process unfold. Obviously, I'm rooting for you the whole way, but also like I was just
Yeah.
a diehard Browns fan too. Like I watched all that like building
Right.
the Browns stuff and all that.
Oh yeah. Dope, bro. That's crazy. I never knew that. I never
Yeah,
knew that.
no, my whole life I've been a Browns fan, so it was like the it was like my homeboy he got there, and also so I was rooting for you definitely. But I was think I was
Hey
following you
man.
pretty dang
Appreciate
close.
that. Appreciate that, bro.
So who do you feel like while you was playing, who do you what backer do you feel like you learned the most from, like as a player to player, peer to peer?
Um, there's a lot. Off the top of my head, I would say, and it could be their play style or what they told me. But Anthony Walker was a guy who was just very sharp. He was just
Yeah,
sharp. He just knows the game. Like he would call out plays based on formations, and I just never seen anything like it. But whether he knows it or not, like I would always like pay attention, and he's definitely a student of the game, man. But he would drop gems every now and then. I would always hone in on the stuff he was saying because like the stuff would translate. Like you could see he go play a game and he knows what's happening. It's like, man, how does he know that? But he's definitely a student of the game. I would say him. He's probably like one of the most influential guys I've been around.
yeah, we definitely felt a hole in the defense a little bit when he went down.
Yeah, yeah. You
So
can see it too. Like you can see it. Like the whole defense. I don't want to say fell apart, but he was kind of the guy
just
who
a hole,
was. Yeah, he was that guy. Like he had it all. He had
right?
it all.
That's what I've heard too. Actually, like around the league and stuff. When he played for the Colts before that, same thing. He was like a
Yeah.
mentor for the young guys.
He's just smart, man. He's just smart. Knows the game.
So right now you're working out in Arizona for the XFL. Is that right?
Oh no, actually I'm in Dallas. We got a game this Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yes, San Antonio.
All right. Well, I'll check you out for sure. I didn't know I
Oh
was.
yeah, man.
I'm right in the middle
Yeah,
of the season. You're really giving me your
yeah.
time here. I really appreciate it.
Nah, you good, man. Anything for you, brother.
So so what was that? What do you feel like the speed of the game and all that? Is it true what they say, like how it's a like a completely different thing or whatever?
Oh yeah, man. Like I don't don't know if you've seen clips of like I think his name Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen clips of him running at all? Even if you haven't, go look at it after this. But bro, like when you have O linemen running like 4.7, 4.8 speed, and you realize like, man, like there's nothing that compares to that. You have D ends running down running backs, like the speed thing is real, bro. Like, so you really got to be sharp. Like, false steps are big. Like, you really got to be on your keys, read. Like, it's crazy how calculated it is because guys are so fast. So
Right.
your speed. So me being a fast linebacker really doesn't do much because everybody's fast.
You're
Literally
just a
everybody.
linebacker.
Yeah, you just gotta be just a linebacker. Really though.
Yeah.
Everybody's fast, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had that same sort of feeling before. Um, so I didn't know this, right? I'm just a dumb kid uh, in high school. But I went from like a really big fish in a small pond, and then I went up there to Pedro, and that
Mm,
huge pocket of athletes come out of there. And
yeah,
I didn't know at the time, but we was playing with like a couple of you guys went to the league.
yeah.
Tony
Couple, yeah.
Stewart.
Hmm.
So yeah, for me it was like, man, everybody's fast.
Yeah.
I can't compete. uh,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny, man.
but yeah, for me though, the work ethic that I had in the weight room and just not being sort of, I didn't have the physical gifts of everybody else, and but I
Mm,
just worked out in the weight room like a crazy person. Like I'm gonna
yeah,
work out so hard that it didn't really work out for me in as far as football, but that work ethic for me definitely translated to the rest of the life, with business and all that.
for sure, bro.
What is it?
Hmm.
Talent,
Definitely. I
hard work
definitely.
beats talent when talent don't work hard.
Hey, you got it, brother. You got it. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm a huge believer in that. So I saw you were into like NFTs for a little while. Are you still into that, or you?
I mean, I got a couple.
Yeah.
Am I like actively into it? No, I'm actively into like crypto and stuff though. I do have like a couple crypto coins I'm holding, long term.
Yeah,
But the NFTs, I got a couple. Not really
you got a couple.
actively into. Yeah,
What's your top five cryptos? Top three.
top five. Oh man, put me on the spot. And I'm a little biased just based on what I have and what I believe in. Obviously Ethereum. Um, I have. I'm heavily invested in Tailcoin.
Okay.
For people who don't know what that is, and I feel like it's a great coin. Uh, third. What's my third?
You said tail or tail?
Tailcoin.
I don't even.
Um,
I'm obsessed with crypto and I don't really even know about it. So what is it?
really,
Yeah.
just go check it out, bro. I think you'll like it. So Ethereum, Tailcoin, and probably um, what else? I don't want to say Bitcoin because that's so cliche. Um, uh, maybe XLM or Avalanche, one of those two.
XLM is solid. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not. I talk about this on stream, but you can use Coinbase, and I don't recommend people hold their crypto on there, but you can use Coinbase for USDC. They have like a little
Hmm.
card. Coinbase has a card that you can use, and you
Yeah.
can do a bank transfer ACH to USDC, and then you can spend
Mm.
USDC, and you can get 4% cash back in XLM for free.
What?
Yeah,
Didn't
so
know that.
just me using gas and like food, like normal purchases. I think
Uh huh.
from I want to say January 20th is when I started doing it.
Hmm.
Until like actively, I guess, until now, I made $40 in XLM for free of like stuff I was already
Just
going to spend.
just for spending money.
Food and
That's
gas.
crazy. That's wild.
So if you like,
Yeah, we might have to
if
look
you
into that.
if you like XLM, you could get 4% cash back on Coinbase.
Yeah,
So
if they have
For
that
me, it's
format.
XRP.
Yeah, I got some XRP too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Come on now.
Yeah.
Of course, XRP.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. If I'm like, if people are really in the know, then they know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
XRP.
it's
What
like,
else? I know you got two more. What's your other two?
oh, so this is my top five. All right, I'll give you my
All
top
right,
five:
yeah. Give top five then. Top five.
Bitcoin,
Yeah,
Ethereum.
of course.
Those are the boring ones.
Hmm.
XRP is my biggest bag.
I know that.
Uh, H
Hmm.
bar.
Got Ace Bar. Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah, I
then
got some Ace Bar.
QNT. That's the top five for me.
Quant.
Yeah, Quant.
Okay.
Direct partnerships with Oracle, less supply than Bitcoin, all that.
Yeah. Okay. I like that top five. I got
But I
all of
like
those, by the way.
XLM is in my top 10. Um, I like Avalanche. I think they're pretty good. I would put in like top 10. I would throw in probably Algo. Maybe
Hmm.
throw in some. I got some biases that I got Flux.
Yeah.
Just because I'm mining that right now. You know,
Yeah.
I got the biggest Bitcoin mining farm in Clarksville. You know, no big deal.
No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Slight subtle flex. Subtle flex.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
So when did you get into crypto? What got you into that?
I think some of my old teammates from Iowa State in 2020, early 2020, would just send me like they put me in a group chat with guys and they would just send me like stuff to look up and that's really just how I was kind of like blindly going into it like I got a couple extra dollars, let me invest in these,
Mm,
and it turned into like, oh man, like this is the new, like this is the new era. I was like, oh, I need to like really get involved in this, and that's kind of how it happened.
wow. Yeah, so I'd say you definitely had some fortune because they weren't steering you in like, some nonsense. Like
Oh
all the
yeah,
stuff that you said was solid for sure.
yeah, they definitely, because I think my friends had other friends who either worked for these companies or were really deep into crypto. So I was blessed. I had like some great minds behind the decisions I was making.
Yeah, my pen video on TikTok. It's not my most viewed video, but it's just like it's the why I hold XRP video.
Uh
Like
huh.
you watch that one, and it's like Jesus. This is. I always say if there's a start over of grand magnitude, right?
Hmm.
Someone call it a great reset. If that's real, XRP is the
XRP.
winner.
I
XRP is the
believe it.
winner.
I believe it. That's why I got me a little bag. I believe it, man.
So you still stacking in the bear market, or you just kind of
Oh
wait
yeah,
hanging out? Yeah.
yeah. I'm dollar cost averaging every month. I throw some money in my favorite, probably like top three. Try to split it evenly. Some months
Yep.
I go a little larger and based on how they're doing, but I do yeah, averaging every month.
Yeah, that's what I recommend. Especially that's what I say. Like in the bear market, the first ones that are going to move are going to be the big ones,
Right.
and you're going to have like it's not going to get euphoric again for like a year after stuff starts
Yeah.
to move.
Right.
So that
Right.
that's kind of what I recommend. People are like, "What about you have this coin, this coin?" I'm like, "Listen, guys, I got like 10 coins right now.
Right.
I'm heavy in that. That's it, because those are the
Right.
ones that
That's
are going to
it.
move."
Right.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's like I always relate it to I don't know if you've ever studied the .com bubble or
I
anything.
looked into it a little bit.
A little bit. Well,
Yeah.
basically, I always say that crypto is our generation's version of the .com bubble,
Hmm.
and the same thing is true. Is 97% of all those coins or all those stocks, all those .com stocks, they went to zero. They
Yeah.
had pets.com, $80 million evaluation, never sold a single collar or nothing. And the same thing's true. 97% of the cryptos are going to go to zero.
Yeah.
However, however, on the flip side of that, there was
Yeah.
the 3%, the Amazons, the Googles, the PayPals. And that's
Hmm.
what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Amazons, the Googles, and the PayPals.
Right.
And the underlying technology of the bubble was the internet, and the internet changed the
Right.
world forever.
Changed it forever. Yeah.
And that's how I view the blockchain. 97% is going to go to zero. 3% is going to rise from the ashes. They're going to rule the world, and they're going to make people in a different kind of wealth, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
transformational wealth. And the
Yeah.
underlying technology of the bubble is the blockchain, and the blockchain is going to change the world forever.
For sure, bro. Definitely believe that.
Yep.
Definitely believe that.
And they're like, well, who's the 3%? And I'm always like, well, if you type in the little World Economic Forum, the people that say you'll own nothing and be happy, the people that run and control the show, the people that control everything, you
Right.
go on their website, type in crypto, and then boom, you got a whole list of coins that they plan to roll
Mm-hmm.
out for mass adoption in 2024. It's
Right.
like, I don't need to guess who the winners are. They're telling
All
me.
right. All right. No guessing needs to be done here.
Yeah. Wow. So that's pretty crazy. So when was that? Iowa State that you were in these little groups or whatever?
Um, I think it was like right when I graduated. You remember Jordan Harris? Do you? Oh, you don't.
Uh
You don't know. Nah, you don't. You don't know him. You don't. But anyway, it's right when I graduated. He was an older guy. He graduated a year before me. And he really got into it. What's up, brother? Good. Yeah, chilling. But yeah, he really got into it, and I kind of like he took me under his wing, like right as soon as I graduated. And man, did I learn a lot? And did not only did I learn a lot, I made a lot of money, like
mm,
quick. So I've been ever since I've been dialed in, really
yeah.
dialed in.
Yeah, I think the importance of just having a good mentor uh
That's key.
really, yeah, it really can't be understated. Uh so yeah, that's same thing for me. I got a little bit my story is I was just obsessed with financial freedom.
Yeah,
Uh
same, same.
I just want to be able to like for me it's like I'll never stop working, but I want the choice to be able to work on what I want to
Right.
work on.
That yes, bro. That's the key right there. Like I want to be able to work if I want to, but also if I don't want to work, I don't have to. You have
Right.
the option.
And if I don't agree morally, ethically,
Right. I
spiritually,
can walk away.
that's it. I don't
Yeah.
once you like stop making decisions based off of money, start making decisions based off of moral ethics,
Right.
spiritual, all that, I think you're going to be in a lot better place long term
Right.
personally.
I agree. I agree. Because I'm big on morals, and if it doesn't morally feel right, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care how much money is being thrown at me or anything like that. So that I definitely can agree on that.
Yeah, have you heard of Alex Mosery? He's like
Alex
a
Mosley.
yeah, he's a fitness guy, but he's a marketer, he's a YouTube guy.
I probably seen him before. I don't know the name.
He's like a big business guy. He has a lot of business tips and stuff, but he always says never ever trade your name for money. Meaning like don't ever like
100%.
compromise the value of your name or what your name stands for a little bit of money because you can get more money but you can't
Right.
get more reputation.
Yeah. I don't think people really comprehend that. Like once you cross that line, it's like yeah, you might get the money, but like morally, it's not. I'm not gonna say you're ruined, but it's pretty bad. Like depending on what you do for the money or whatever it is.
Right. Takes a long time to recoup it. Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
I got obsessed with real estate. Actually, was the first thing that I read over 100 books about, and just
Man.
learn. Go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that's a lot of books.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like, okay, what's the cost? You know what I mean? And a lot of times, the biggest barrier to entry is just knowledge and just not knowing what you don't know. And every weekend, I was
Right.
doing, DoorDash or Lyft every single weekend, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
listening to books because there's thousands of books on YouTube for free, and I was just like cranking them out. I was getting three, four, five a week, just cranking them
Right.
out. And
That's crazy. How much did you learn from reading all those books? Like, did you get like? I'm pretty sure you got a lot of information, but like,
Yeah.
um,
So in my mind, my thought process behind it, right? And going into it, I sort of thought that maybe I wouldn't get as much if I just sit down and read a book or whatever, right? I wouldn't get as much if I
right.
sit down and read a book. But my thought process was maybe I get 70% of the knowledge that I would be able to retain just by
Hmm.
sitting down and reading it, right?
Right.
But the volume that I could get by listening versus sitting down and reading, because I don't always have time to sit down and read, although
To,
I know it's valuable,
yeah.
right? But I
Right.
have time to brush my teeth. I have time to drive to work. I got time to
Hmm.
listen. And
Right.
so 70%, right? Well, maybe I can get in 3 books by the time I could get in one by reading it.
Yeah.
Well, if you do the math, that's 210% more knowledge that you
Yeah.
retain.
Yeah.
So, but they've studied it. I mean, maybe you get a little bit more, but I think it's marginal. But any way you can get in
Yeah.
the knowledge is
It's good. Yeah.
yeah.
In my eyes, it's either way. That's still dope, bro. It's a lot of books, a lot of
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. So how I got into
Crazy.
crypto is I wanted to have a bunch of rental properties, honestly.
Hmm.
And along the way of me trying to get some rental properties, I learned that you could use your stock portfolio, like Robinhood or whatever. You could use it as leverage for a down payment without
Really?
selling. Yeah, without selling. So not a taxable event. And when I learned
Wow.
that, I'm like, okay, let me take a step back here. Let me take the same energy that I'm putting towards real estate and let me put it towards crypto or towards the stock
Right.
market.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I was doing. I was reading about the stock market, learning as much as I could learn. And I was dollar
Hmm.
cost averaging into the stock market almost like a savings account for a rental property.
Right.
And along the way, I just kind of randomly just started dollar cost averaging into crypto
Right.
too. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I was just buying a little bit of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
Hmm.
And I accumulated a few Ethereum at like almost nothing. And
Hmm.
she ran up, right? And I sold it and I had like $6,000 in profit, which for me at the time was a lot of money. I'm just doing DoorDash
Hmm.
and Lyft, nothing
Of
too
course.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, man, I get real estate. I get the dividends because that's what I was doing was dividends.
Dividend investment. Okay.
Right. I was like, I get that. You own it. They pay you a little bit each quarter, each month, whatever. I was like, how could I get passive
Hmm.
income like this with crypto? And that's when I learned about mining. And
Mm.
so I took that whole 6 grand, which for me was a lot of money back then. This
Hmm.
is pretty much like all the profits.
Yeah.
And I bought
The
my first
whole.
I bought my first mining rig. I set it up, made some mistakes for sure, and bought the wrong parts, but eventually I figured it out. And once I got paid and it was real and it was in my bank account and it was real, really real, I was like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, this is it right here.
This is the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the way.
And so from that moment, I've been obsessed with crypto. It's the same energy, a book a week, all that,
Hmm.
just studying charts and all that, just perfecting my craft. So
That's dope, man.
that's how I got into it.
Dope. Crazy.
Uh,
So it's crazy that you say that because I want to get into like rental properties this year. So we're definitely gonna have to talk because I'm pretty sure you know a lot more than I do about it.
I can give you some really good books and
For
definitely link
sure.
up with you for sure. But I'll give you my top 3 books on real estate. Okay,
Got you.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's number one.
Yep.
If you haven't read that one,
Read. I read that one. Yep.
okay. All basically, you could just read all of Robert Kiyosaki's books.
Okay.
So he's got one called Fake. He talks about real money. He talks about
I heard of that one before.
that's a good one. Fake teachers,
Yeah.
fake gurus, fake
Hmm.
money. He talks about the 3 types of money. He says the you got fiat, and that's the government's money. Then you got
Hmm.
gold and silver. He says that's God's money. and then you got cryptocurrency, and that's the people's money. So that's a good one. But the
Right.
truly like instructional one that you're gonna be really like honed in is ABC's of Real Estate by Robert Kiyosaki, and it
Okay.
tells you everything like how to get a lawyer, how to get an accountant, how to scalp out a good location, how to hire your contractors so that they set it up, like everything A through Z on how to do a rental property. It tells you all
Yeah.
of it.
Definitely need that.
So that's a good one.
Definitely need that.
Um, what's another good one? The Burr method.
The Bird
That's
method. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a book on it too. So
That's a good one.
there
Yeah.
you go. Well, what's your top books for personal growth, finance, all that? I know you're a book reader.
Personal. Well, I'm on a kind of a different journey, but this year I've read um, the Wim Hof Method. It's a book on like breathing and
Yeah,
um,
I read that one.
spirituality, and yeah. So I just finished that one. It was cool. Um, the Richest Man in Babylon. I just read it again because it was just so good the first time, and it's really simple, but the effectiveness of it in my mind is so deep that I read it
Mm,
again. So that one.
the truth is simple.
I just started them. Yeah, it's simple, like compounding, and it's I don't know, it's just as simple as it can be, but it's so impactful to me. So it's probably one of my favorite books ever.
Yeah.
I'm reading another book. Oh, I can't think of the name right now. It's a financial book, but besides that one, I would have to say my third would be um. Oh, I read a book called Uncomfortable Conversations. It's kind of like a athlete's book, and it talks about like what athletes go through and the business side of what people don't really see, what people don't really know about. And it was just kind of like good to like know that other people understand that have been in the um,
Mm,
field of sports rather.
right.
But yeah, those are my top three books.
So when you say you're on a when you're on a different path, what does that entail?
Um, I'm all about personal development, growth. And like this last year and a half, I've really been honing in and focusing on like really what matters to me and spiritually. I just want to be a better person. I want to grow. Learning that may be lonely at times because a lot of people aren't trying to better themselves every day. They aren't trying to get away from their wrongdoings every day.
Mm,
So that's just what I'm doing, and that's just the path I'm on, just being a better person, and trying to evolve because eventually I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna have kids, and I want to be a role model for those
right.
people. So
It's lonely on the way to the top. I learned that one.
yeah, it's definitely lonely. It's definitely lonely, bro. But there's light at the end of the tunnel for sure. For
Yeah, I
sure.
know another good one that's kind of like the Wim Hof, the Science of Breath, and
Hmm.
it goes real deep into the Wim Hof method on that book too. So that's
Really?
one of my yeah, it's one of my favorite.
Have you tried it? Have you tried the Wim Hof method?
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
for me, I've been breathing in a way, uh, like doing breath work consistently
Hmm.
since 2018.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
started. I talked about it on another podcast, but I started the 6 phase meditation. That's what I do every morning.
Oh, nice.
So have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't gotten into it. I do like the Wim Hof method every morning though when I wake up. So
Okay.
it
Yeah.
definitely helps me
Oh
a lot.
man,
It's crazy. It's crazy how simple and effective it is. Like
right.
clears your mind, gives you energy, like
Everything
everything. Anxiety's gone,
gone.
like
Resiliency
gone.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Imme-
crazy, bro.
immediately. Like,
Immediately,
yep.
immediately.
It's crazy how. Yeah. For me, it was like I learned this stuff because I out of necessity.
Right.
Right.
Same,
So
same,
yeah, I
same.
was I think I was in Afghanistan when I started doing it, and I was just kind of drowning, man. I really was. I was like, um, the workload was too high and the intensity was too
Yeah.
much.
Mhm.
Uh, I grew up. I didn't really have a father figure in my life, and
Right.
my mom, bless her heart, God rest her soul, but she had her own issues. So
Right.
I was just learning this stuff as I went, and I just kind of stumbled upon it like out of necessity. And man, when I started doing it, I viewed it sort of like we're almost like a computer system,
Right.
and we get these messed up bugs programmed into us.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's by our own doing, and sometimes it's by outside circumstances, or sometimes it's people projecting onto you, whatever it may be. Um, but you can rewrite your own script, and you can reprogram yourself, and that's sort of how I
Right.
viewed it. I'm like, if I do this program right here, I'm going to put the good stuff in and get rid of the
Right.
bad stuff. And so that's
Right.
kind of what it was for me.
Man.
When did you start doing that?
Um, I would say on and off. I've been doing it for like probably like 15 months, about a little over a year.
Wow. And you could
But
see,
I really honed into it this year. Because I used to always do it, but now I'm
mhm.
like, all right, every morning, no brushing my teeth. I'm getting on the ground and like I'm breathing, like that's it. And then like I do everything else, and it just kind of like triggers my day.
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm connecting to the divine,
Right, right. And that's
That's
another
what it
thing.
is.
Like
You
it,
put
it
you, well, so okay. I believe in the God of Abraham, right? That's the one that I believe in.
right.
And I don't ever tell anybody else what to
Hmm.
believe, but that's the one that I believe in. But his
Right.
his real name is Yahweh. That's the God of Abraham's real
Yes,
name,
sir.
or
Yes,
Jehovah,
sir.
right? Well, if you just say it, right, what does it sound like? It sounds like you're breathing, like
Hmm.
Yahweh. You know what I mean? Like you're literally inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
that's what it is for me. Like I'm connecting, I'm putting
Hmm.
my radio station on the right channel so I can get the right song.
Right.
So that's what
Right.
it is. So
I agree, bro. I definitely agree.
it's been a game changer for me. What I've been able to accomplish from the time that I started doing that until now, uh, it's like I'm
Night and day,
playing it.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
night and
playing a
day.
different game.
It's night and day.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I just wish more people knew, like, how simple but effective, like, breathing is. And, like,
man,
I'm not gonna get too deep into it because, but the benefits, bro, are crazy. Like,
the most
crazy. And
simplest thing.
the simplest thing, just breathing properly and focusing on your breath, bro, it's crazy. It's, I really would recommend everybody look into it. That's all I'm gonna say. I
Mm.
don't want to get too deep into that, but
Yeah, that's
I
that's what
recommend
I
it.
read in that book, The Science of Breath. According to the book, right? I'm not a doctor, but according to the book, almost if a full generation of people started breathing correctly, then almost every disease would be eradicated because a lot of it comes from mouth breathing. Because
Hmm. A lot of people
it,
mouth breathe, and yeah, this is
yeah,
the simplest thing like that. Like mouth breathing is not necessarily good for you. Like you know what I mean. So
no, it's
people don't know
terrible
that.
for you.
Like yeah, right, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I know you're.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen you. I've seen you. You're a big proponent of gratitude too.
oh yeah, man.
What does that mean to you?
Gratitude to me is everything. You always want to get things right. Something. My whole ideology of it is like regardless of the accomplishments you've made or wrongdoings or whatever it may be, like you always want to get gratitude because, like in my mind, uh, there's always a situation that could have been worse or something that could have been better. Regardless, like you should always just give thanks and be happy for what you have, like the situation you're put in, because someone has it worse, someone has it better, but you should
Mm,
always live in a moment and just realize that this is what I have, and this is what it is, and just be thankful. And that's
mm,
just kind of how I go about it.
man, Yeah, gratitude too, along with breath, uh, has just been. It's again, it's the most simplest thing. It's so
Mm-hmm.
simple. It takes 2 seconds to do, but it literally will like change your life if you put some intention behind it. But
Right. I agree,
yeah,
bro.
it's a so they teach us in the army to hunt the good stuff, and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
it kind of falls flat, unfortunately. But what they're really talking about is gratitude,
Right.
hunting the good stuff. What they're really talking about is
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, and I learned through all these, through my journey, uh, it is a scientific impossibility. It is impossible to be both grateful and sad in the same moment.
Right.
Now, the
Right.
next moment you can be sad, but in the
Right.
moment of being grateful, it is impossible to be sad.
Right. They're definitely
And,
not linear. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
I do it. I reverse engineer gratitude too. You know,
Explain that.
okay. So reverse engineering gratitude, Christians would call it faith, but I'm grateful for things that have not happened in my life yet.
Okay.
So I want to open
Okay.
up a gym. I want to have a big farm with hundreds of acres. I don't have a farm
Right.
with hundreds of acres right now, but I'm grateful for my farm of hundreds of acres.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Kind of like manifesting in a
That's
sense.
what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, it's crazy because oh man, we're getting deep now.
Yeah, I'm like, man, we getting deep. I'm almost out of time. We getting deep. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's because like our thoughts. So this is like a hard concept. It's like the duality at its finest, right? But it's our thoughts are not our own, or at least
Right.
this is what I subscribe to. Okay, I'm not
Hmm.
telling anybody what to believe, but our thoughts are not our own. We're like a radio station, and we turn on the channel, and we these type of things come into our life.
Right.
Uh, but our thoughts are not our own, but our thoughts become our reality. So it's like playing a double-edged sword with our thoughts are not our own, but our thoughts become our reality. So what we think is what we become. Like in the book,
Right.
as the man thinketh. So you think, so therefore you will. And
Hmm.
one thing that I learned about is like, everybody has intrusive thoughts, but just because a thought's there doesn't mean that you need to hold on to it and identify with it.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Especially if it's not a positive thought
Right.
or it's something that hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's like people will just sit here and like worry about what could happen, this, that, and the third. And,
right.
if you put that same energy towards trying to change your life, you'd be surprised.
Right. Crazy how that works. It's crazy how that works. I feel like a lot of people get so caught up in their own thoughts that they don't realize that they have all the power to
Right.
go beyond their own thoughts.
We're the ones with the power.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Man, there's so much power in that, knowing that you
Right.
can be the pilot of the plane.
Hmm.
And just because you're the pilot of the plane doesn't mean there's not going to be storms, there's not going to be
Right.
clouds, but you're the one driving.
But you're still in control. Yeah. For sure, bro. For sure.
Ah, man, so much power in that. Man.
Most definitely.
So my brother wants to know because he's a big Browns fan too. He wants to know: are you
Uh-huh.
a Browns fan now?
I'm not a Browns fan. I mean, I'll be. How should I answer this? I will always be affiliated with the Browns because they gave me the opportunity of a lifetime and showed me things that have only made me a better person. And I have brotherhoods and memories there. Fan, I don't know, because I'm still actively in the NFL, so I'm not really a fan of any team right now. Now,
Okay.
if they resign me, of course I'm
Okay.
a fan, but
Yeah, yeah,
Until then, but yeah, I definitely have a lot of love for the organization, though. I will say that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of any team until I'm on the team.
Right. Is
If
Nick
that
Chubb
makes sense.
really? Is he really that dude?
Oh yeah, he's that dude. He's that dude. Hey, in real life, he's that guy. I'm not gonna lie. That's my boy.
Yeah, it's my
He's
he's
that
my
dude.
favorite player, Nick Chubb. That's my favorite player.
Yeah, bro.
Uh,
One of the most humble guys, hardest workers, but when he's on the field, bro, he's a different type of dude. He's a different type of dude, bro.
yeah, he's I never seen anything like. He kind of reminds me of like a mix between like Jamal Lewis and like Barry Sanders. You know, with the just
Mm-hmm.
just gonna run the ball and hand it off the ref. He ain't said a word all game, just running people
All
over.
right. Scores touch scores a touchdown, just hands the ball back to the ref like nothing happened. Like he's been there before. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just a humble guy. I mean, running back runs hard, fast, out, doesn't go down easy.
yeah,
He's a complete back man.
yeah. I told my little brother that I'd ask you. So shout out to him if you're watching, Peanut.
Oh yeah, shout out to little bro, man. Shout out to little bro.
Yeah, a lot of people were real excited, but yeah, I'm gonna respect your time. I know you got things you gotta do, but I really appreciate you. We really appreciate you taking the time. Where can the people find you?
Instagram, Will Bill Trill. Twitter, Willie Harvey Jr. and TikTok, I think is Willie Harvey Jr. as well.
Okay, and you got some music right on there as
I do
well.
SoundCloud, Will Bill Trill on SoundCloud and Apple Music, Will Bill Trill as well.
All right. I'm gonna have all that stuff linked in the description later on. But I appreciate you, bro. I think I'm gonna cut it here and respect your time. But thank you for stopping by, bro. You can come back on anytime you want to promote something or whatever.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me, man. We definitely got to do this again
Yeah. But all right, y'all.
for sure.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that share button. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. We're out of here.